Oh man, here we go. Second review. I'm getting back in the swing of doing these reviews. EA, please don't have WWE take me down. I'm doing this by the book this time. Everything's correct. But in this review, if you guys haven't seen it, I already reviewed Seth Rollins cashing in on Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns. And in this video, I'm going to talk about a couple of things. None of these videos are going to be in order. But this one is going to be, I'm going to touch on Triple H and Sting. And I'm also going to touch on Undertaker and, what is it, Rusev. Because, I don't know, I think that they both are matches that had promise, but both went astray. And I think it'd be easier if I start with the Bray Wyatt and Undertaker match first. Now, we were already in it for a dilemma when we had Bray Wyatt being the only one to promote this match. No Undertaker whatsoever until WrestleMania. Which is kind of hard to do, especially for, I don't want to call Bray a rookie, but, you know, still relatively new in wrestling years. So, it's like him going up against a Mystique to build this match, which is okay. All right, cool. We all know what the Undertaker is. We know what he brings to the meaning of WrestleMania, or we all know what the Undertaker means to WrestleMania. So whether or not Bray said a thing doesn't really matter, because people are already going to be invested, because we want to know Undertaker's condition since his match with Brock Lesnar. We haven't seen him since. So already, you know, you have the Undertaker Mystique. You're also wondering, how's the Undertaker going to look come WrestleMania? We haven't seen him since Brock Lesnar. Is he okay? Does he still look like he's dying like he did in his last match? How does the Undertaker look is what we want to know. Okay. So I can get behind Undertaker not coming out to WrestleMania. And then we get to the match. Well, before we get to the match, we get to the entrances. And it's such a shame that we couldn't see these entrances at the nighttime. Because I believe that Bray Wyatt's entrance at night with the scarecrows and the lantern would have been so epic if done at night. It would have been perfect. Then we get to the Undertaker's entrance. And for the first time in probably decades, Undertaker has a basic entrance. A bunch of smoke. He comes out. No theatrics, no nothing. Just Undertaker. And you can see by his hat that he grew his hair back, which was great. He looks great with the short hair. He pretty much had Biker Taker hair, just a little bit more lengthy. A little bit more. Which is a really good look on him, especially since he's older. Now, of course, he dyed his hair to hell, especially his goatee, because we know Undertaker's hair is pretty much white at this point. He also came in looking a whole lot more full than he did last year. And when I say full, I mean like he didn't look like his skin was falling off his face and falling off his body. No, he looked in incredible shape. He looked in very, very, very good shape. So that's also a plus. Now the match, on the other hand, okay. You guys are going to have to tell me if I sound biased about this match, because I was going for Bray. I wanted Bray to win this match. That's first and foremost. Reason I wanted Bray to win this match is because on Twitter, I asked everybody, I said, call it now, Bray vs. Undertaker. And it was pretty split. But one tweet was hilarious. It said, Undertaker, he needs it more. Bruh. What? What exactly does Undertaker need? Undertaker went 21-0. He lost one match. Hell, he lost one match in the last 15,000 years. What does the Undertaker need? He needs nothing. Bray needed this match. Bray needed this win. Because if you're building on the future, you have to sacrifice your past. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Undertaker already did the job last year to Bork to make Bork look as strong as he does now. Do it again by putting over Bray. I wanted to say Bork again so bad. But therein lies the conflict. People are going to see conflict with that because, man, it's Undertaker. He doesn't lose at Mania. Him losing 2 in a row is going. Now, nobody said this to me, but this I read your minds. I know what you're thinking. Him losing 2 in a row, you know, it's gonna mess up the mystique. It's going to make it look like Brock's win wasn't that strong. It's going to make it, Brock's win not really mean as much. He can't just be the 1 in 21-1 because now there's a 2. I get all of that. I get all of that for Brock's sake. But Undertaker's legacy is sealed and can't be touched. But a greater story can be told, which is Undertaker's age. You have to build it. Now, they could possibly be reserving. You know what? It's a good thing that I'm tying these 2 matches together in this video because it's going to make so much sense. I could understand you have Undertaker win this match if Sting won earlier. Because then you could set up Undertaker and Sting. But with Sting losing, and we're going to get to that a little bit later, but with Sting losing, why do we care to see Undertaker versus Sting? There's no reason. That would be the only reason why I would care for the Undertaker to win, is if we are getting Sting and the Undertaker, if Sting won. But right now, that's iffy because Sting already said this may be his first and last WrestleMania. Now, whether he said that just to get this match over, his match with Triple H over, I don't know. But I'm not really looking forward to it because he lost. So what is there for the Undertaker? Like, are we giving the Undertaker a win just off GP because he's the Undertaker? What does that do for your future talent, Bray? Somebody who you already sabotaged by taking the Wyatt family away from him. You fucked up his momentum against Cena. Completely fucked up his momentum against Cena by having him lose at Mania and then having him lose last man standing match. Completely derailed this guy. And then they tried to build him back up. And you're building him as the new face of fear. He's never going to get the opportunity to face Undertaker at WrestleMania again. That is as big as it's going to get to catapult your career. How do you catapult Bray Wyatt now? Bray Wyatt could easily have been in position to, within the next 2 to 3 years, be your top heel in the company. Brock's going to be gone. Who will be your new top heel? What mystique do you have behind Bray Wyatt? Him and Undertaker sort of kind of came in the same way. Untouchable. Bray was untouchable. But then he got touched. The Cena monster. It's not any good. But then you had a chance to give him that shot again with the Undertaker and build your future. Undertaker ain't gonna be here in the next 2 to 3 years. It ain't happening. I'm pretty sure he's retiring next year in Texas. I'm pretty sure of it. But what are we going to do about Bray? Who is going to be the big name that Bray can put under his belt to say that he beat? Who the fuck has Bray Wyatt beat? Bray Wyatt is freaking money. And that's money that I believe they just threw away. I believe they threw it away, and the start of them throwing it away was when they got rid of the Wyatt family. Bray was money. And for him to lose this match, I don't get it. I don't get it because it does nothing for The Undertaker. Undertaker loses his match. Undertaker doesn't give a fuck. Taker's done. His legacy is sealed. If he loses 2 in a row, that's gonna hurt his 21? No. Those are memories that are never ever going away. But now we have a beaten, broken down Undertaker beating someone that could be a top talent. It's gone. It is gone. What top name can Bray put under his belt? What top name? It doesn't get bigger than Undertaker at Mania. It doesn't. It's not possible. What other respectable legend is going to put himself in position to actually lose to Bray? There aren't any. There's none. What, Cena? He already lost that one. I can't think of any others. Like veterans that are still there. What, Mark Henry? Fuck a Mark Henry. Big Show? Fuck Big Show. Fuck those guys. They don't have marquee name. Bray Wyatt doesn't have the marquee name. You want to say Daniel Bryan? Cool. Say Daniel Bryan. That was great. But how many of you just remember it like it happened yesterday? It's not... I want to say it's not a marquee match, but I'm pretty sure you guys won't agree with that. But it's not a big notch under his belt because Daniel Bryan's in his prime now. Daniel Bryan's story is being written now. Undertaker, Cena, we already know their story. So for their story to get knocked off would have elevated Bray. And they didn't. They didn't pull the freaking trigger. And I don't know the reason why. It can't be because of Sting. It can't be. Sting lost. His first... For what it was, in the beginning, the match was good. Now, hold up. Before I get to the match, I'm sorry. I got to segue back. Because some people are going to say that the Undertaker's match with Bray Wyatt wasn't good. And I didn't even really talk about it. I thought it was a pretty good match. If you go into that match knowing what you're coming there for, then you're satisfied. You're not going to get an Undertaker that's going to be suicide diving and doing all this crazy stuff. No. Undertaker's, if not 50, pretty damn close to it. But he looks all of about 70 if you take... So if you know what you can get from The Undertaker going in, then you're fine. Except Undertaker's what he's going to be. Bray has to carry the match, which he did. Bray looked great. And Bray was working on one ankle because he sprained his other one. And some of you could tell because he was a little sluggish, but Bray did a good job. And Undertaker did a good job at storytelling. Undertaker's job of storytelling was to just sell them on him looking old and him looking like this is the end of the road for him. Which is how Bray was booking this. Well, not booking, but this is how Bray was cutting his promos, as if, I'm not scared of you no more. You're done. I'm going to put the nail in the coffin of you. So Undertaker has to play... He has to play that old role, like he's defeated. And a lot of this may do with Undertaker just not being in ring shape. He's definitely not in ring shape, not taking many bumps. So, of course, you know, he's going to look hurt. He's going to look tired. But it also plays into it. So, again, if you know what you're going to get from The Undertaker at old age, then this match was fine. The spider walk up into Undertaker sitting up, that was a pretty good spot. Sister Abigail with Undertaker sitting up and getting the choke slam, pretty good stuff. I enjoyed the match. If I sounded like I didn't because of the direction, pardon me. I enjoyed the match. I liked the match. For what it was, for what I knew I was going to get, I liked the match. Did I like the finish? Or did I like... the finish was fine too. Did I like the result? No. Because it is nothing for Bray. It does nothing for Undertaker either. This doesn't do anything for Undertaker. What does the Undertaker gain from beating Bray Wyatt? Absolutely nothing. So now let me get back to Sting and Triple H, which again started off as a good match. Triple H was doing a very good job at protecting Sting. By the way, what was the spot that happened that caused Triple H to get the biggest bruise I've ever seen in my life? That was nasty looking. Sting had one too, but I know that came from when Triple H threw him into the stairs. But it was a good match up until DX came out. The reason I had a problem with this is because, and I got some tweets after, it was just like, lighten up, it's nostalgia and blah, blah, blah. Fuck that. Absolutely fuck that. Because that's not how this match was built. This match was not built on fucking nostalgia. This match was built on Sting not liking what Triple H is doing now. He doesn't like this whole authority angle. He doesn't like that Triple H abused power and backstabbed people to get to the top. That's Sting's problem with Triple H. Sting never said, oh my God, I hate WWE, or I hate you guys for burning down WCW. That wasn't what Sting was building this thing on. Triple H didn't like that Sting kept buttoning on his business. Now, sure, Triple H said, hey, we took you guys down. But he didn't really get all into that. They were keeping it pretty current day. So I don't see the reason for DX and for NWO to come out. That's not how this was being built. This was being built on the authority. This was being built on Sting saving guys' jobs. What the fuck does DX and NWO have to do with that? It's simple booking. Now, if they would have built this thing like, oh, you took down WCW, and you got Triple H like, oh, we buried you guys. You guys. Plural on guys. Then I could understand NWO coming out. Then I could understand DX coming out. It's not how this was built. This was built to be a serious match. And they turned it into, what the fuck is this shit? Again, if they would have built it as an easygoing match, not too serious, let's talk about WCW, let's talk about NWO, let's talk about DX, fine. But that's not what anyone was expecting. We were expecting for Sting to come out and have his first match against Triple H, and they'd be mano a mano. Now, sure, a lot of this was done to protect Sting because we know that Sting can't go. Like, Sting can't hang with Triple H. So you need all of the shenanigans that you get. But they were having a perfectly good match. It could have went 10 minutes with them alone and been done. Hell, you could even do the DX run-in. Just one or two guys. You don't need the whole fucking DX. Do the DX run-in. Call Sting the match if you wanted him to lose to Triple H. And be done with it. NWO doesn't need to be there. Why is Scott Hall taking bumps? That's going to be a huge medical bill. Why is Hogan taking bumps? Huge medical bill. Why, Sway? Why? Again, if it was just DX and you were going to have Triple H win, I could understand it. It didn't need it because these two were doing fine. And then you get Triple H and the Scorpion Deathlock, and I was praying to God that they wouldn't do the Scorpion Deathlock because Sting can't bend his knees. He can't do it. Why did they go to it more than once is beyond me. Should not have happened. But they did it. Okay, fine. And then you get kickouts. Oh, okay, fine. And then you get Sting breaking the sledgehammer with the bat. Okay, Fine. Great. You get the Shawn Michaels super kick. I mean, we've already overkilled this thing, so fuck it. Why the hell not? The thing pretty much just turned into a gang war. That's what it turned into. It turned into... fuck. What one of them stupid movies where you got gang versus gang from way back in like the early 90s. One of those movies. I can't think of the names of those movies right now. I'm pretty sure somebody will help me out in the comments. But it turned into that. My gang versus yours. This would have been excellent if it happened during the WCW invasion angle. But it didn't. Let it fucking go. It should have happened 14 years ago. Then it turns into Vince McMahon, my dick is bigger than yours, WCW, so suck it. That's all this is. This match was a fucking ego stroke, and Sting deserves better than this in his first appearance at WrestleMania. That's why I'm upset about it. I'm upset about this match because it was going good. It didn't need this bullshit. And this was Sting's first WrestleMania. And they turned it into a fucking laughingstock. This was a bullshit match. Nostalgia my ass. This is cool my ass. Oh my god, my favorite wrestlers, my fucking ass. Because this did nothing. Nothing for the current day product. Now again, if they booked this as if this is what it was going to, fine. But they didn't. And then you get the handshake at the end. For fucking what? Why should Sting respect this guy? I'm done. I'm okay. I'm done.